Okay, going live.
All right.
We're good.
ידוע שבחודש חיידש יש עניין כללי המשותף לכל החדשים כמודגש בקריאת התורה ובתפילת מוסף על דבר קורבן היום ובראשי חדשיכם שהוא בכל לבד ראש השנה חדשי השנה ועניין פרטי השייך במיוחד לחיידש זה כמודגש גם של החיידש וימים טובים שבו וכיוצא בזה. It is known that every Rosh Chodesh has a common general I guess, a common denominator between all of them, every Rosh Chodesh of all the months. As we see that when we daven, we say over Roshei Chodshechem. We say that by every month besides for Rosh Hashanah. Then there's also, besides for the common denominator that all Rosh Chodeshim have, each Rosh Chodesh also has its own unique thing. As we see that we call each Rosh Chodesh by the name of that month. We also have the Yamim Tovim of that month. So there's parts of Rosh Chodesh that are similar to all the Rosh Chodeshim, and then there are also how each Rosh Chodesh has its own unique thing.
Where are you reading?
Where am I reading?
Oh, I see where you're reading. You're reading page 122.
Oh, man.
Okay, I just posted first one. I posted the first one.
Okay. So I'm reading. Okay, I see now. Okay, so I need to read the first one.
Okay, let's redo. Okay, go.
Redo.
That's Shkacha Pratis, I'm sure.
Everybody, take two.
Take two.
David kama pa'amim oideis ha'shemesh Parshas Torah shaf b'Parshas nikba u'shmei selu al shemes chalas hasedra harei Yisrael sheTorah hi harei hu b'vadai b'tachas hadiuk kechol inyane ha'Torah. We spoke several times about the names which the Parshas of the Torah are called. And although that they were the Pashtos established these names based on the way the Parsha starts, the beginning of the Parsha. That's the names that they were given. That's the simplest way to understand these names. But because they were established based, and this is a Minig Yisrael, and we know that in Torah, so that means that it's with the most ultimate precision, just like all other parts of Torah. The name of the parsha, and although that, like we said, it's obviously because simply like the name is usually the way the parsha begins with those words, but it can't just be that. There must be something much more. There must be a lot more intention involved and a lot more essential Torah values that we can learn here, just like all parts of the Torah.
Okay, awesome. Shalom.
I continue.
Continue or speak, or continue and speak.
I'll just continue. Umay ha'chachos lezeh mashma shel Parshas Hashavua Parshas Toldos. I don't know what the first word means. So from this, I guess it shows that on the Parsha of the week, which is Parshas Toldos, follows the Parsha he ve'ela Toldos Yitzchak. The beginning of the Parsha starts. These are the children of Yitzchak. K'mayas chalas Parsha Hasheni Torah, like the beginning of the second Parsha of the Torah. Ela Toldos Neach, like it's the second Parsha, Parshas Neach starts. These are the kids of Neach. V'kevan sheshtei haParshas maschilas ba'asan tevos. And because both these parshas start with these words, Ve'ela Toldos, Hare Kedei Likraisan, B'Shemais She Yavdilu B'Nehem, in order to read them with names that I guess show a separation between them. Masim Likrais HaRishona Al Shem HaTeva, Achi kreva lehaschal parsha. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Oh, Rabbi Yisrael came in. Rabbi Yisrael, you're able to read or speak, whatever.
Hey! I just hopped in. I'm still getting set up over here. You have to download the PDF and whatever. So I guess I'll pass for now. By next turn, I should be all caught up.
Okay, Rabbi Yasket.
Hey, here I am. You see me now? Hello?
I saw you before. Now I don't see you.
Because I'm having the PDF in front of me.
Okay.
Okay. תתחול את הפרשה וילד this Yitzchak. Like this, the second parsha, El Toldos Noach. Because both parshas start with Ve'ela. Because they have the same name, Ve'ela, so you use the second word also. Toldos, and the Eile Toldos, and also the להבדיל בין הראשינו, כדי להבדיל להבדילו מהראשינו, בקריאה שם שינו, מהשם שנתן כבר לראשינו, תולדות יצחק. Look at gives you this. You have to know because of that. Because it was Eile, Toldos, and Eile Toldos Noach, Eile Toldos Yitzchak. So he said. So that's why I used all the names, all the three, because otherwise you would call it. You would know which one is it. And
wow. Okay, thank you, Rabbi Yasket. A little bit of the clarification because I was having a tough time understanding what's going on. But one of them is Ve'ela, right? Or are they both Ve'ela? I think one of them is Ve'ela. Another one's Eila. Is it? I don't even know. So that would have been my first question. You could just call one Ve'ela and one Eila. But obviously we're trying to get a little bit deeper here. We're saying that one we're calling, we have to include the second and third word in order to show the distinctions between it. Because otherwise, usually, unless there's reason otherwise, the parsha we just call it basically by the first word. But if there's reason otherwise, then we'll pick on other things. Like the Rebbe explained many times, that since it's the beginning and it's the head of the parsha, so therefore it contains the concept zugesund of the entire parsha. Okay, let's see where we're gonna go with this. Levi. Yes, Levi, go ahead. If you're there, you look a little frozen. Told it's getting cold in New York.
I'm having some technical difficulties, so I'm sorry about that. So basically, what the Rebbe is trying to say is, Toldos, both parshas, Noach and this parsha that we're holding here, they both start the same way. Eila Toldos Noach, Eila Toldos Yitzchak. So if it's all about, the Rebbe is trying to prove that the name of a parsha is not just by chance because that's the way the parsha begins, therefore we call it by that parsha. Because if so, then by Parshas Noach, if you're trying to differentiate, how do you differentiate between El Toldos Noach and El Toldos Yitzchak? So it would make sense that on the first parsha, on Noach, you would pick the word that's closest to the beginning of the parsha, which would be, Noach should have been called Toldos. And then by this parsha, the parsha should have been called Yitzchak. Yet we see the other way around. By Noach, we're going to the third word. We're calling it Parshas Noach. And then by the later parsha, we go, let's call this one Toldos. It's a little, so that proves to you that there's something much deeper in the name of a parsha, not just that that's the way the parsha begins. And actually, I'm just thinking myself, it would make much more sense that Yitzchak is Avinu, our father. It should be Parshas Yitzchak. Why are we spending on Parshas Noach?
Yeah. Shalom, go ahead. You'll be after later.
We're talking about spending the Noach or like the Toldos, but why do we even have to use an either? Why couldn't both of them just be called by the names of the people? Toldos never had to be something that had to be used. Like if it was already if one parsha was already being named Noach, why couldn't this one be named Yitzchak? There's no need for it to be. I mean, unless there is, like we're saying, it has to be the one closest. Yeah, I don't really want to read because I have a hard time translating.
Reb Israel.
Okay, so which place specifically are we holding? Which paragraph?
The Kivon.
וכיוון שנקבע ונספש את מנהג ישראל. כמודפס בכל החומשים. I think to address what you said, Shalom, is that the Rebbe was asking that we must say that there is a very specific reason why the name of the parsha is these particular words, because if we want to say that no, we just pick whatever first convenient sense-making word comes in the pasuk, that's the word of the name of the parsha, then by that calculation that it's just the first sensible word, then by that logic, Parshas Noach should have been called Toldos. And when we come to Parshas Toldos, we would have said, oh, wait a minute, we already have a Parsha that's called Toldos. We're going to have to choose something else to differentiate it. I guess let's go to the next word down the line, Yitzchak. So Noach would have been Toldos, because that's the first sensible word to use. You're not going to call it Parsha Eile, because that's literally just like it's like a non-word word. It's just trying to describe something without it being something. Toldos is you're saying something actual. But after you already took Toldos, then the next time you have words, so the next word should be Yitzchak. And what we find is the exact reverse. By Parshas Noach, we spent the idea of going to the third word, of taking someone's name, and by Toldos, we take Toldos.
Ervieska.
Wow, I enjoy what's going on over here. I like the elaboration of and I believe it's going to be a bomb over here in the Sikh. That's all the years of Toshin and Beis and all the Sikhs is mamish crazy. 1 second. Okay, I'm so happy. You see, not planned. I'm here, so I learn about this. So I'm excited to hear what's going on. I didn't learn the Sikh. I have 50 seconds, so let me run fast to think. 1 second. I don't see the clock, so but I'm going to read. Okay. In the Barbook Macher, she was in the Parsha Rishon.
The one before that, the Kivon.
Which one?
The one before that, the Kivon.
The Kivon, she got Nikva mit Parsha Minig Israel. They mentioned it. כבוד כל החמוש שמדבר בהלוכה, שקוראים ראשינו בשם נח, והשנייה בשם תלת, מוכח שקריאת השם הזה לא על שם הטבע הראשינו, או הטבע הראשינו שמבדיל אותו, איסון פרשה אחרת, because it made a difference, אלא באיפה שיהיה השם בדיוק ביסוד. Basically everything is perfect. You see, like this, all these things when the Rebbe speaks about the Sichas from Tovshin and Beis is so crazy. It's more logic. That's the only thing.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for all the clarity. And I love how everybody asked same question, just stronger, making the question or the point stronger, that everything has to be exact. Can't just be that it's, stam. Everybody strengthened it again. Very nice. And I very much enjoyed Yisrael's explanation about Eila and Vela, because I actually had the question. I don't know. I still don't understand why, but I like how you said it. That it's a non-word word. I just enjoyed that. Thank you. Okay. And it's explained in another place. Look at the It explains the how the name of Toldos, Noach and Toldos, is it matches to the actual point, the idea of the parsha itself. It brings it out, and it seems that we're going to get into that. Shalom, I would suggest to just do at least some. It's that's what I do. I try at least to read something. It's good. Reb Leivik.
Are we holding by Hatoichin the Eila Toldos Noach?
Yes.
Hatoichin the Eila Toldos Noach Loi Sipur Ledas Bonav Toldos Kipshotei Shel Noach Shekar Nemu B'Sefer Parsha Bereshis V'Nichbal Kan Kiprat V'Teichna Shel Parsha Sipur Hamurois Shel Noach V'Lachein Nikreis Al Shmoi Noach Hatoichin the Eila Toldos Yitzchak Loi Sipur Hamurois Shel Yitzchak Shari Kama V'Kama Murois Umurais Ikriyim Leidasa Ehakeda Hashidach V'Nisuin Hem Parshas V'Yeira V'Chayisora Shalifneze Elo Sipur Leidas Banav Kipirush Rashi Yaakov Esav Hamurim B'Parsha V'Lachein Nikreis Toldos Shepirushay Kipshutai Banim. So here you have it. It just makes more sense. Parshas Noach is not talking about his children. We already mentioned his children. It's mainly talking about his life story, his biography, what happened during Noach's lifetime. What are his Toldos, not from the word of children, but like what are the Toldos Chayav? I think in Hebrew that you say it like what happened in his life. Therefore, we call it Noach because it's about his life. But over here, Yitzchak, we already know about Yitzchak, and we know about the main things about Yitzchak that happened until now. And now we're dafka talking about Yitzchak's children. So that's why this parsha is called Toldos, the children of Yitzchak.
Thank you, Yisrael, for the explanation. So based off what you said here, like in this context, Toldos is that supporting word, that it's that non-word word, because it's just saying that it's just something that he's adding on. That's not like, it's not talking about a specific thing. It's not a people. It's just like saying that, like the seeds he planted earlier in his life and how it basically worked out throughout his life. So it works. V'yesh lahaisif, uvar gam b'nagea l'teichen shemas haparshios, kishela atmam noisef al shechusan l'teichen haparsha, shekivan shena asu chelek mahatara, kalal gam tara milashin hara, yesh lomai tara be'avaidas adam l'kainai gam mashmai saparshis kishla etzem. I thought this was gonna end earlier, like the sentence. It didn't. I was gonna stop. Can't make out that word. Parshas Toldos, Shet Toldos, who Leia Inyan Arisha and Bipam Arisha and Shayachalim Lehishtamesh Bisham Bishem Zeh. Ela Inyan Asheni La'achre Nacht. I'm gonna leave up the translation to someone else.
Rabbi Yisrael Goldstein.
Oh, my turn. By the way, Shalom, your reading is very good. Don't doubt yourself. You're reading very, very good. Yeah, I hear. Toldos could seem like a supportive word, but I think that's the whole lesson here. Actually, is that Toldos is a whole lesson in and of itself, as we'll see. The idea of the descendants of Yitzchak, we're going to see as a whole important lessons for us. Ad kedei kach that it became the word of this parsha. So I guess let's see what it's about. Well, yeah, what he's saying is that the Rebbe is pointing out that these words that became the names of the parsha, so we're going to stop now and analyze them and learn a lesson out of them. Why? What's so interesting about this title? It's just the label of the parsha, after all. But the Rebbe says, you know what? After all, they are the names of the parshas. Then that's it. They became part of Torah itself. The fact that these are the labels by which we label these parshas, then they themselves became part of the Torah. Torah milashon hara. Torah has a lesson for everything, not just every word of every pasuk that we learn in the actual parsha of the Torah, but even the fact that these are the names of the parshas, that itself must be that it's part of what has a special lesson for us as well. And in our case, Parshas Toldos, Toldos loya in arishim bepam arishayna sheyichalu mishpam shem zeh elahina asheni laachrei noach. The second opportunity we had with the word Toldos, now we're using it.
Rabbi Yaska.
It's like the explanations very, very clear. Baruch Hashem. Gets me courage to read the subject of it. I like to know what is the meaning of the whole sikha here. What's the? I didn't know you get more than half an hour. You do it go for an hour usually? Okay, I didn't expect this, but I'm here. Okay, I'm here. I was thinking it's better to learn with you guys than learn by myself, so that's what I learned with you. So I don't have the book in front of me. I'm going to read it. I'm upset I'm not going to manage to read it. The whole thing. Let me read it anyways, if I'm not going to finish it. Okay, I don't know where I'm holding. Hategen.
Okay. Next page.
I don't see the word Akdama.
The second paragraph on base.
שפירוש השם הסניח בתילוס, לא בשייכס לתכן העניין, הפרשה, אלא השמש עצמם. שייכס ללימוד ואירובה בסודום, קרי תילוס על עיקר תילוסים צדיקים, מעשים טבעים. וניח שם האודם שמיר על עצמוסי, שייך לרידס המציאוס, על דרך תילוס כפשוטי, שאז נקרא בשם. Probably the clock finished, no?
Perfect. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Shah, for the clear explanation. I also like how Shalom is continuing and making the non-word idea into a normal thing to say. So thank you, because that's what it is. We just create vocabulary if we need to, whatever. Sometimes that's what we need in order to bring Mashiach. I think we're adding something here, which I haven't noticed before, and tell me if I'm wrong. I think this is what we're saying in the last paragraph, not explaining this one that Rabbi Yeska just read, but that because this is what we call the Parsha, now there's something new that is part of Torah, and we also need to learn a lesson out of. That means that I don't know if this name, I think the name thing basically became added and part of the Torah because it became the name. It means because we named it this and we call the Parsha by this name, that added something to the Torah that wouldn't have existed otherwise, and therefore also a lesson. Levi.
The Darosh Beer Vehesper. So we need clarification and understanding. Aleph. Ha'as'ama b'pnimiyus ha'inyanim de pirush Hashemis kishala atzmam in pirush ha'inyan v'ha'parsha. We need to match up on the inside of the subject the meaning of the names for themselves with the meaning of the subject that we're learning about and the whole parsha. For Shalachora, seemingly, they're opposites one from the other. Pirush Hashem, Sha'ich le'etzem mitzius, le'nasa adam al derech teldis kibshute. Because by Noach, the meaning of the name is related to his actual existence, the existence of the person, the birth of the person, like what Toldos means kibshute. O pirusha inyan shayich lemaisim tovim, and it's shayich to maisim tovim ki pirush Rashi v'pshuti shel mikra lamed chashik until they say shel tzadiki maisim tovim. This teaches you that the main Toldos of a tzaddik are the good deeds.
Shalom.
The hapchu b'Toldos and the shepirush Hashem shayach l'maisim tovim. and they switched around by Parshas Toldos that the name is connected to doing good deeds. Pirasha Inyan Shaykh Lileda and Toldos Kipshatai. Kipirish Rashi Yaakov Ve'esav Hamurim B'Parsha. I'm a little bit lost. Pass.
Rabbi Yisrael.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out myself. But if I'm following more or less the gist of it, is that what we're trying to solve over here is the connection between the name of the parsha and what the parsha is about. So that's the label, such as Noach or Toldos, and then what the whole parsha is about. So Parshas Noach, the teichen of it has to do with the whole story of Noach. The teichen of Parshas Toldos has to do with the descendants of Yitzchak and what happened with them, and their actions and what they did. So the Rebbe says, right? So we're trying to match up the names with the teichens. And the Rebbe starts off by saying, to begin with, it might actually seem that they don't match up. It's actually, they're the opposite. They're totally reversed. By Parshas Noach, so the name of the Parsha apparently has to do with the existence of that person. The fact that Noach, I guess, existed. The fact that he was born. And Sheikh Le'etzem Etzias Ha'adam, like the meaning of the word Toldos literally. So maybe that would have been more better to call Toldos. Parshas Noach would have done better with Toldos because it has to do with the birth or the etzem of the person himself or something like that. This is the part I'm having a bit of difficulty not following. Whereas Upirusha Inyan Sheikh Lemaisim Taifim, but the topic of it has to do with good actions. I'm not sure.
Rabbi Yeske.
So I'm going to share with you something good. When you hear about Toldos, I have my thoughts about the idea of the Marishan. It doesn't matter what is Toldos, the concept. Why I call it Toldos. I'm excited about the idea. I see Shalom Schwarzberg. What's the idea when you say what a man is? Nobody knows what a man is. Adam, what is Adam? The concept of Adam, nobody's similar. Nobody's the same. It's crazy. So who you're presenting? Nobody's the same. Only one to present is God. So I want to say something also to Leviks. Love it. I'm going to tell you something. I met a guy today. It's a whole story. When he was in the Chidus, the Rebbe told them to learn Chidus, and the Rebbe in the Chidus put both hands and made it over the top. You should learn over the head. It's not for you guys, but I'm telling you what the Rebbe told the guy, and I loved it. And I told the guy, wow. So I told him the Posach Elio style that I learned to live it all the way. And the Rebbe showed them that, and this guy, he helps people through Chassidus. Mentally, health-wise, wealth-wise. Thank you very much.
Okay, that sounds exciting. I did want to say before, I didn't have a chance, that I really love how comfortable, Rabbi Yeske, you look. I'm very happy about that. It makes me feel comfortable also. I'm going to attempt to clarify. I don't think we're asking a question. I think we're making a statement here. We're clarifying. We're saying that by Noach, because the idea of Toldos is only like a deeper understanding, right? It's a pirush. It's like saying of like what is his actions, and therefore, so we're speaking about Noach. So you mentioned the name Noach, and when we're speaking about Toldos, we're actually speaking about the simple meaning Toldos. We're speaking about, like Rashi says, Yaakov, Esav, Amorim, Parsha. We're speaking about in Parsha. So I think it's a beginning of a clarification. Yeah. Okay. Baruch Hashem. So it's the beginning of a clarification. We're saying why over there it makes sense to the content of the parsha. Why over there we should say Noach, because they're not actually talking about his children, like Levi said before. And by Toldos, we're actually speaking about Yitzchak's children, which is the content of the parsha. So making a connection to the content. Okay, I hope I clarified. Shalom.
It doesn't sound like it's much of a deeper meaning. It sounds like it's just talking about the contents of the parsha. I mean, I obviously there's more, but for now that's what it seems like. Base, V'ikar bir halimud v'hahira b'noach shelifnei Toldos u'mitoldos shel achri noach. So the main lesson we can learn from the fact that Noach is came before Toldos and Toldos came after Noach is benagea l'Noach. When talking about Noach, kivan sheshem ha'adam shenikra b'lidasa einay shayach l'ch'era lavadasa b'maisim tavim. Because the name of a person that's given to him by childbirth is not really connected seemingly to his work in this world. Toldos shel tzadikim mahu inyan denayach lifnei Toldos b'avodas adam. So what's the inyan of Noach before Toldos, that when talking about working on yourself? Okay, yeah, done.
Rabbi Yisrael.
Am I correct that we may have skipped over Levi's turn? I would love to hear Levi if you have some. If we did skip your turn, if you want to take it now, no?
Yeah, we did skip him.
Oh, okay. So Levi, explain us if you can tell us this Maya tell this thing. What is it about?
So I had to deal with something. I wasn't listening to everything that's going on here, and or looking inside. The last thing I was left off with is that when you're dealing with a person's name, what does that mean? And then when you say Toldos, what does that mean? So Toldos is referring to when it comes to tzaddikim, their Toldos is their maisim tovim, their good deeds. When you say a person's name, you're talking about, like, what is he about? What is this guy's? Who is him beyond his maisim tovim? Not just his good deeds. I want to know who exactly he is, and I think that's where we're wondering about the name of the parsha and the subject of the parsha. So if by Noach we're speaking about what happened during his life, so then that is not necessarily his name, which represents who he is for himself beyond his good deeds. So that we should be talking about not what happened during his lifetime. We should be talking about who he is, because what happened during his lifetime, that would be what his good deeds were. So that would be Toldos, technically, because the Toldos of a tzaddik are his good deeds.
Okay, Rabbi Yaska.
So I want to respond a little bit to what Sholem speak. I just want to tell you something. Example, what it means. What mean the word? The word. There's no such a word in English. Havaya. In Havaya, in Hebrew, there's no such a word like this, because they can grasp the whole idea. The word Havaya is a very meir nikavah. There's not such a word. I think there is not such a word also. Timidis, steady. It doesn't mean. I'm not gonna. I'm speaking about. Let's go about Avaya. Why I'm saying tail this. Then you go to the whole mind. You're probably going to go to what is tail this. I believe this kind of perspective is going to blow your mind, because it's going to be a real tail this. Like you say Avaya, the only way Avaya is, it says Yahal Shim Avaya Kuyutziv Avnivro. In Yahal you're not allowed. Hilalus you're not allowed. Only you're allowed to do Hilalus mit Avaya. Why? Because the whole idea of Havaya is bittul b'mtzias. That means everything is him. You can't say a word like this. They mean to say, I believe over here is going to link to the word tell us in a way, it's going to blow all our mind. not to blow your mind. It's going to make a reality because what you know is what you are.
Rabbi Yisrael.
Okay, yeah. So in that Is Aleph over there, I don't fully understand it, but generally the gist of it is that the Rebbe is trying to focus on the fact that we're trying to match up the name with the parsha, and a svara of how it would make sense to actually say the opposite, that the connection isn't really clear between the name and the parsha. By Noach, the name shows on the person themselves, which is like their birth, like their existence. So that's more like a Toldos kind of a thing. But the whole story that actually happened there has to do with Maisim Tevim. I don't know. I guess somehow the whole story of Noach had to do with doing Maisim Tevim. I guess somehow. And then the opposite is by Parshas Toldos. The name of the parsha apparently has to do with Maisim Tevim. I guess because the Toldos of a person is the stories of all the things that they did that were good actions in their life. But the Teichen of the parsha has to do with birth, literally the offspring of what happened with Yaakov and Esav in the parsha. So we have to really work to find what the connection really is between the name and the parsha, because apparently we could explain something contrary, something opposite over there. And Beis Ve'ikar, like Shalom read already, Bir Halimud Vayram and Noach Shalifni Tildis Min Tildis Shal Achrei Noach. What can we learn out of that ordering of things?
Wow. Okay. So yeah, after Shalom said that that doesn't seem so adding anything, I also have to go back because correct myself. I don't think we're answering. I think this is part of our question, and that's I think the point is about the simple meaning and the explanation, right? The pirush and like or the simple meaning and the getting deeper because the simple meaning it seems to match, like we said. But but as soon as you go a little bit deeper, it seems to contradict the whole concept. So like you just explained, but I'll just try to reiterate, and hopefully I'll get it right this time. I love how we're getting stuck in this. This is good. Feels like we're trudging together. Um, that Noach, the simple meaning, the guy's name that he was named at his birth, which shows on the person. But then as soon as you go to the Pirush, what does it mean like in deeper meaning? We said Toldos means the Maisim Tevim of the person, like Rashi says that the Maisim Tevim of Tzaddikim, that's the Toldos. And then then you have by Toldos you have the opposite. That the explanation of what does it mean we know is Maisim Tevim. But what do we actually end up talking about? The simple meaning. Like Rashi says, Yaakov Esav more Parsha. So basically, it seems that the simple meaning and the deeper meaning are opposites. And now we want to know what is the idea of someone having a name before he did any work mean, Levi.
What's interesting is before we continue in the actual sikha, I want to point out that there's a concept of Kol Yisrael Yesh Lehem Chelek Le'olam Haba, and the Rebbe speaks about how there's a certain part of that a yid is Zayche to Olam Haba because of what he did in this, before in Olam Haza, and because of the mitzvahs, the Torah, so that it's his schar. But then there's another part of the reward of Olam Haba that is beyond what we did or what we're worthy of, and it's just because we are Yisrael, and Kol Yisrael Yesh Lam Chelek, and because we are Neitzer Matai Maaseh Yodei Lispar, the Eibishter takes pride in us. He shows off with us. He brags with us. And I think that's also kind of what we're talking about here is that there's something inherent in a name, just like who you are, beyond what you're going to do or what you did or what you're not going to do. And I think that might be something that we should keep in mind.
Shalom.
I'll read a little bit more. Where are we holding?
I don't think anybody read further after you.
So it's Uvenega. think so. Uvinagil Toldos, and regarding Toldos, Kevan Sheba Lachari Neach, because it came after Neach, but Kama Parshas Shebin a time, and a few more Parshas that were in between. I don't know what that is. She'ein hakavana l'toldosehem shel tzadikim ma'asim tovim. That the intention isn't that the Toldosehem, what's Toldosehem referring to here? The good deeds of the tzaddikim are ma'asim tovim are not good deeds. Stam she baschalas ha'avoda ela l'darga na'alis b'ma'asim tovim sheba la'achar akdama d'neach ushar parshas shebin time. I'm done.
So, you should know my mind doesn't work like you guys. My mind takes me time to digest what I read. So for me, it's to read and to speak to others, to just think. So I really have to learn the sikha if I really want to be enjoying the intellectual conversation. Otherwise, I'm just flying like in school when I was 3 years old, or 7 years old, I don't know. The teacher speaks and I'm just with my whole gear flying in all the places that I can be. So I like that you took the plane also, Levi, and start explaining your ideas. Everybody else the flight, but Isaac is focused, and Biswal is focused, and Sholem is focused. So yes, some people are trying to to make us land, but we're not going to land. I'm not planning to land now. I'm not planning to. I just being with you guys. And I'm excited at the idea of Toldos, to know what it means. I wish I would learn this to get the point of Toldos, because it's important for me to know who I am.
So even though, first of all, don't be choshed b'ksher. Don't say I'm focusing. But even though pears could mean fruits, I think fruits matches Toldos so far. That's the feeling that I get. I think so. Fruits, like results, but also its own thing. Anyways, I like fruits. And I think it's. I mean, I think it's pretty. But I mean, I have a question. Really, I was actually thinking about this. Esav wasn't even born yet, and he was already. I mean, I'd be petrified, honestly, if I saw a baby being born with a full set of teeth, beard, and hair, and everything, and he already tried to kill somebody. Like before he was born, he tried to kill Yaakov. And he said, I mean, it's a little scary. And they named him Esav, like, and all the connotations that come with that. So, I think that's a pretty serious question that we could ask when we're calling people things, and the name means so much. So, do they choose what they're doing? Do I choose my life? Yeah, lady.
So, let's read a little more. And he says here, L'chura ef shleimer shenoyach meida amatzav shel menucha. Menuchas hanefesh menuchas haguf k'dei shetiya ha'aveda d'kiyum ha'teira mitzvahs k'debay. הדרך מהשחץ הרמה מידע זה יהודים הגשמים שבתרא כדי שנשב פנויים ללמד בחוכמה ולעשות המצווה. ולכן הסדר הוא שנויח קודם לתולדות, כי כדי שתוכל להיות עבודת התולדות, which is מעשים טובים, בהכרח להקדים תחילה מים דומצב דנויח מנוחה. אבל מסתבר יש לומר שהקדימה דנויח לתולדות היא לא רק בזמן בגלל ההכרח שבדבר, אלא קדימה אמיתית בתרא קדימה במעלה. The Rebbe says, maybe we could say that Noach, means is, and the reason why it comes first, why aren't we saying that? Why did we name Parshas Noach Toldos, and then we should have named this Yitzchak or something like that? Is because maybe he's trying to teach you that in order to have Toldos properly, in order to have Maisim Tovim, to live a good life, that you're giving something to the world, you're giving something to the people around you. You're being a good person is you need to have a manucha, you need to have a calmness. You need to come in with a certain state of mind that's just menucha. So that makes sense, but the Rebbe says there's got to be something more here. It's not just about Zman, it's Torah over here. So there's got to be some kind of quality here that's about it.
Yeah. I think I'll pass this one.
Rabbi Yaska.
Shalom, I was thinking, wow, you're going to speak and then time is over. Then you gave me the time. So, you put me in a spot. So, I don't think the rabbis speak about Toldos like fruit. I don't think a baby of somebody's fruit. Fruit is not like the tree, I think this is like the tree, so it's not fruit. So you can't say it's fruit. Toldos is not fruit. Toldos, I think, is I don't know what in the Sikha is going to say, so I don't know what is it. I know it's going to be a surprise probably. But I wish I will not betray myself and read the Sikha and know what it means. But if I'm not, God knows I'm not going to do it. So the way I feel I'm not going to do it, maybe I'll surprise myself to do it. So this is I'm speaking to myself. This is Toldos to understand what I am, who I am, what I'm aiming for. Just producing myself. So Hashem invented children. We're lucky. When you give up, your children succeed. That's it. I don't know.
Okay. That's all for today, folks. Chassidim. Yasher Koyach.
Thank you very
Moshiach
much.
now.
Thank you very much. Good
Thank
night.
you all.
Gute Nacht.